knowledge, even anywhere, of these particular plants and what you can make from them. Another place that you can go with your materials, if you are not capable of reaching a lot of markets, is what they call food service companies. These are companies that will go around in St. John's and drop off, you know, the beef patties and you know, the blocks of cheddar and other stuff that the restaurants and hotels use on a regular basis. It's possible that you work out some arrangement that if you're getting lots of, say, chanterelle mushrooms in, that you can fold them up, and they may be a possibility of selling too. But unless you can guarantee regular supply of a lot of things, it's going to be one-off sales when you do it. Farmers markets we found to be one of the best places to take new products. And the reason for that is that they're growing in number, they're growing in popularity, and people are coming to those markets to look for these kinds of foods. It's not just a phenomenon in Southern Ontario. I know in Scotland, I think a number of years ago, 10 years ago, there was like 2 or 3. Now there's, I think, 100. The same thing in Ireland. But the same thing is happening in the States. And some of the big stores in the States, the big grocery chains like Whole Foods, which is the big organic chain there, I think they have about 450 stores across the States. They are a place for these sorts of foods also. But they recognize that these other foods aren't necessarily just going to turn up on their shelves. So what they do is they're now starting to open their parking lots to farmers markets, so they can get the farmers into their parking lots and then get the people into the stores to get what they didn't get in the farmers market. Another market I tried out was the gift stores. I don't know how much luck other people have had with gift stores. I think I started working with them about 8 or 9 years ago. And the results I had were pretty much disastrous. You have to, often what gift stores will do is they'll buy for one season only because they want to rotate or change the different things they've got to sell. It seems to be the highest, they have the highest number of failures. Like, you'll ship the stuff out, you might get payment in advance, and then you send some stuff the next year, and then you find out the store's gone out of business. There seemed to be a very high number of companies that did not do well. Part of that is the companies that also have the airport stores, and of course after 9/11, they didn't do very well. They lost a lot of business. Another business is gift baskets, which we've tried a bit of. We do our own. We'll do a $70 or $100 gift basket, usually at Christmas time, and send out an email and then see what the response is. With gift basket companies, though, you have to be prepared to have odd numbers, large often numbers of stock. Gift basket companies, you have to really approach now at the latest to be able to get into their promotion, which is usually September to October, in order for them to make their sales in November, December. Gift basket companies, some of them are enormous. There's one that operates out of Colorado that has 400 franchises in the States. I think some in Canada too. So if you do get a product that they want, and you've got the volume, they can definitely be a big market. Internet sales have also been really interesting, in so much as what the internet site seems to do more than anything else is act as a catalog. Our experience is that people do not necessarily want to buy food over the internet. They might buy toner cartridge, they might buy, paddles for their canoe, or they may want to buy a whole range of things, but food is not, I don't think, the first thing people will buy. But it is a good way of letting people know what you have, because what will happen is the store will buy the stuff, they'll go to your website, and or they'll refer to their customers to your website, providing you make your prices on the website as high as the stores do. Because the one thing they don't want to see is their customers go to your website and see prices when they're lower than theirs. Grocery chains, there's big interest in grocery chains in trying to, there's so much competition between them. They're trying to bring in new products, local products, they're trying to look green. It's a big problem for them because there's a lot of small producers, there's not many big producers. I did a presentation to Loblaws, which has about, I don't know, to their President's Choice people, I think they had 720 stores in Ontario at that time. And after the presentation, they said, great, how do, let's think about doing this, right? Well, you start adding up 720 stores, and maybe they take 2 cases of each product you might have for each of those stores. That's 1,400 cases. You realize that your outlay is just sort of bankrupt your local credit union, right? Like the amount of money you need to be able to buy, to process, and then to ship. It's a big leap. So grocery chains, it might be something you want to gradually grow into at some point in the future when you have vast inventory. Caterers are another place like chefs and restaurants and hotels. They're always interested in developing nice menus for different people. They particularly like you to provide recipes for them so that they then can offer this to people who come, they've got a wedding coming up, they want to make it all Canadian. So you have to do some work for the caterers. Other markets for stuff, well, we heard from Lionel this morning, breweries, they buy fruits, I know in Quebec, there's one in, we've got one in California that wants birch for birch beer. Wineries, they're sometimes interested in fruits, sometimes distillers. We've got distillers who are interested in juniper berries. Oh, 2 minutes. Okay, ice cream makers. We've tried with we've done tests on things like birch ice cream and Saskatoon ice cream. They're interested, and they're fairly easy once if you get to know somebody, provide the raw material, and give them a rough idea of the recipe. Often they don't need that, but it is a good source of bulk. Bakeries is another thing. If you've don't have a processing facility, so you're selling raw, you can take stuff right into the bakeries. They'll often then make up some sort of a bread or a dessert, pie filling, whatever, that they can use. Chocolate manufacturers, I heard today also about providing things for chocolate manufacturers. We provide things like wild rose petals, wild rose petal syrup, black trumpet mushrooms. They make a sort of a truffle type of chocolate. Other markets here, corporate gifts. That's a market that usually starts in January, February, letting people know we do up baskets or gift packs for corporate customers, right? So somebody will have a contract with TELUS, and they'll send the people in the sales department, 12 different baskets, so that it's their gift to them to, make them happy. Culinary schools, we talked about that before. It's a great place to go with stuff because not only do you get to introduce these foods, they sometimes will buy them for training. But the other thing is that all those students there then go off to the restaurants and they become customers. Health food stores, with the benefits we talked about, there's all these different things that you can, if you've got the time, Google or whatever, go to the places that have the nutritional information and all the different health information and make it available. Health food stores will take it in. Tourist attractions. There's lots of places like border stores or museums or whatever. The Fort White Center, I know they used to take some stuff. I mean, there's different places all over. These are great places to go and have stuff that's local, original, indigenous. Resorts, again, the same thing. They like to have the edge on other stuff. They don't, they don't all want to just have maple syrup and, smoked salmon and wow. They want to see other stuff. Casinos, my experience with casinos